Have you ever noticed that some labels say cacao, while others say cocoa? First, they sound like the same thing, but they're not. One is raw and packed with nutrients, while the other is roasted and has that rich chocolate taste we all know. Today, you'll discover the real difference between cacao and cocoa, how they're made, and which one might be the better choice for your health. Stick around, because the answer might surprise you. Both cacao and cocoa come from the same tree, the cacao tree. Picture a football-shaped pod growing right off the trunk. Inside, there are rows of beans surrounded by sweet, white pulp. Farmers scoop out the beans, let them ferment for several days, and then dry them in the sun. This is where the journey splits. From here, the beans can either stay closer to their natural state and become cacao, or they can be roasted and transformed into cocoa. So while the starting point is the same, the way the beans are processed makes a huge difference in nutrition, taste, and even health benefits. But what exactly makes cacao raw? And why do some people say it's healthier? Let's take a closer look. When you hear the word cacao, think raw and less processed. After the beans are dried, instead of being roasted, they're usually cold-pressed. This means they're processed at lower temperatures, so more of the natural nutrients stay intact. That's why cacao products, like cacao nibs, cacao powder, and cacao butter, are often labeled as superfoods. They're loaded with magnesium for energy, iron for your blood, and flavonoids, which are antioxidants that help protect your cells. Now, cacao isn't as sweet or creamy as the chocolate you're used to. In fact, it tastes more bitter and earthy. Some people sprinkle cacao nibs on smoothies, oatmeal, or yogurt for a healthy crunch. It's not candy, but it gives you the raw power of the cacao bean. But if cacao is so nutrient-rich, why do we even bother roasting the beans to make cocoa? The answer has everything to do with flavor. Here's where cocoa takes the spotlight. Unlike raw cacao, cocoa beans are roasted at high heat. This roasting changes the chemistry of the beans, creating that rich chocolate flavor you know from hot cocoa or brownies. There's also something called Dutch processed cocoa. In this method, the beans are treated with an alkaline solution. That reduces the natural acidity, making the powder darker, smoother, and less bitter. It's perfect for baking recipes where you want a milder chocolate taste. Now, the trade-off is that some antioxidants are lost during roasting. But don't worry, cocoa still has nutrients and plenty of that feel-good comfort factor. Think of it this way. Cacao is like strong black coffee, while cocoa is more like a sweet latte. Both have value, just in different ways. So, now that you know how cacao and cocoa are made, the big question is, which one is really better for your health? Raw cacao is often seen as the winner here, and for good reason. It has higher levels of antioxidants, especially flavonoids. These compounds help fight cell damage in your body and may lower the risk of heart disease. Cacao is also rich in magnesium, which supports your muscles and energy, and iron, which carries oxygen in your blood. No wonder health-conscious people often add cacao powder to smoothies or energy bars. Now, cocoa isn't left out. Even though roasting lowers some antioxidants, cocoa still has many health perks. It can boost mood, improve circulation, and provide a comforting source of polyphenols, which are plant-based compounds linked to better brain health. And here's something you'll like. Dark chocolate, which usually contains more cacao, has been linked to improved heart health when eaten in moderation. So that piece of quality dark chocolate you treat yourself to, it's not just a guilty pleasure. It can actually be good for you. But with all these benefits, how do you know what you're really buying when you see cacao or cocoa on a label? Let's break down what to look for at the store. Here's what to look for. First, check the label. If it says raw cacao powder or cacao nibs, that's the less processed version with more nutrients. On the other hand, if it says cocoa powder, it's roasted, still healthy, but with a different flavor profile. Second, look at the percentage of cacao in chocolate. A bar with 70% or higher cacao usually means less sugar and more of those health-boosting compounds. Anything below 50% is more sugar than cacao. Third, watch out for extras. While cocoa mixes, especially instant hot chocolate, are loaded with sugar, milk powder, and fillers. If health is your goal, go for pure cacao or pure cocoa powder. You can always add your own natural sweetener, like honey or dates. Think of it this way: the fewer the ingredients, the closer you are to the real thing. So after all this, which one should you actually choose? Cacao or cocoa? So here's the bottom line. Both cacao and cocoa come from the same bean, but the way they're processed changes everything. Cacao is raw, less processed, and packed with nutrients like antioxidants, magnesium, and iron. It's the go-to if you're chasing maximum health benefits and don't mind a stronger, more bitter taste. Cocoa, on the other hand, is roasted, smoother, and what gives chocolate that classic flavor we all love. It may lose some nutrients, but it's still good for you, especially when you choose darker chocolate with a high cacao percentage. So, which one should you pick? It depends on your goal. Want the healthiest option? Go with raw cacao. Want comfort and flavor? Cocoa is your friend. Either way, you're not just eating chocolate, you're making a choice that fits your taste and your health. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video and share it with a friend who loves chocolate. And tell me in the comments, are you Team Cacao or Team Cocoa?